Dead by Daylight is a horror game where you can either play as a killer or a survivor. Playing as a killer is quite thrilling, but if you're new to the game, the role can be quite confusing to play. To help you out, here's a quick guide to show you what you need to do as a killer in Dead by Daylight. Just like how there are many playable survivor characters in the game, there are also a few killers you can choose from. Once you've picked a killer, make sure to customize your blood web. Pick out the perks and offerings that you think will be useful. Don't forget to add some add-ons for your items as well. And of course, try to familiarize yourself with what perk is unique to your killer. While waiting in the lobby, don't forget to take note of who the survivors are and what items they're carrying. This will be useful knowledge once the game starts. Once the game begins, your priority is basically to patrol the generators and prevent survivors from repairing them. Try to locate where the survivors are and keep them separated from each other. Once you find one, try to chase them and injure them. If you hit a survivor twice, they'll be downed and you'll be able to carry them and hook them. Hooks are places where you can hang the survivors to sacrifice them to the entity. Remember that they can escape up to 3 times and the other survivors can help them as well. You can devise a strategy with this. You can either camp at the hook or hunt the other survivors. For a higher chance of success, try to injure as many survivors as you possibly can. With injured survivors, you'll be able to hear their groans and locate them if they're nearby. Which gets us to our first tip. Playing with the sound on will help you immensely in-game. Once you down another survivor, you'll have to find an unoccupied hook to hang them. You can continue this strategy while making sure that the survivors are unable to power up all 5 generators. While it might be tempting to just camp at one generator, it isn't really the most strategic approach. Instead, keep on trying to disperse the survivors and try to separate them from each other while chasing the injured ones. Remember, speed is one of your advantages. You're noticeably faster than the survivors. However, you can easily lose them if they jump on windows and ledges, so try to predict where they'll go next instead of just chasing them blindly. Also, the more survivors repair a generator, the shorter the repair time takes. For a second tip, in the instance that you see 2 survivors repairing a generator, injure the first one, then damage the generator. Next, try to chase the second person and injure them or down them as well. If all 5 of the generators do get powered up, the survivors will now have to find the exit gate to switch them on. If you can't stop them and one gets out, that's 1 survivor that you've lost. There isn't really a very clear win condition in Dead by Daylight as a killer, so having a ton of blood points and probably killing 2 or more survivors is already a pretty great feat to accomplish. But for most players, having a 4K or wiping out all 4 survivors counts as the ultimate win. It's really up to you. What's important is to patrol the generators and prevent them from being fixed and killing as many survivors as you possibly can. It might be a bit frustrating to play as a killer, but after playing 10 matches or so, you'll get used to the hang of it. Let us know how your first try as a killer went in the comments down below, and make sure to like and subscribe for more gaming tutorials.